Looking at Milwaukee's brand new 7¼ inch circular saw. Now this one runs on the M18 platform, and it's supposed to be one of the fastest cutting and most powerful saws on the market, even faster cutting than some corded versions, if you can believe it, and that's thanks in part to their new Forge series of batteries. There's bevel detents at 22.5 as well as 45 degrees, and my 90-degree stop was dead on. You'll notice there's quite a large opening around the blade, and that's part of what gives you access to that incredible 57-degree bevel angle. And you secure that in place with a traditional bevel lock. And this saw has a 5/8 inch arbor. We'll put on one of Milwaukee's 24 teeth framing blades and get that installed. Standard threads on that. The arbor lock button is just here, and you can tighten that up with the onboard wrench. One of the absolute best features on these new Milwaukee saws are the 3 blade detents they give you. There's stops at 1.5, 3/4, or 1/2 inch, and it actually stops the blade slightly deeper than the stated dimension. So if you choose the 3/4 inch detent, just lock it in and you're perfectly ready to start cutting sheet goods. And this saw will run on any of Milwaukee's M18 batteries, like this XC 6.0, which has become one of my favorite for their cordless router, but you'll really get the most mileage with this tool if you jump up to the Forge line of batteries. One thing that's really important to me is the weight of a circular saw, and with a framing blade and the dust collection accessory mounted, it comes in at 8 pounds 7 ounces. Now with the weight of the battery, the XC 6.0 comes in at 2 pounds 4 ounces, or jump up to the XC 8.0 Forge battery. That one weighs 2 pounds 5 ounces, so that impressed me. Still stays really light for the extra power. Or jump all the way up to the HD 12.0 Forge battery. That'll add 3 pounds 4 ounces, so you can use these numbers to compare it to the weight of your current saw. Well, my favorite battery for this saw is the XC 8.0 Forge. It still feels relatively lightweight and just perfectly balanced on this 7¼ inch saw. And you've got a rafter hook, so if you're working at the top of a ladder or on a roof, it's a nice feature as well. And that's what it looks like with the HD 12.0 Forge battery. And although that HD 12.0 is a little bit heavier than the other batteries, it gets a lofty claim of 50% more power than the high output 12.0 battery. And if you haven't used a Milwaukee cordless saw recently, 3 features I really like about these are the brushless motor, spins it down very quickly. Then you get that metal base, which a lot of brands have gone to the plastic base, and I still really prefer a metal base on these saws. And finally, you get a nice LED light so you can see your work, and that stays on for a bit after you release the trigger. While it may be tempting to go with a smaller or lighter saw like this 5 3/8 inch version, when you step up to the 7¼ inch cordless circular saw, you get increased cutting capacity, which by the way at 90 degrees is 2 5/8 on this saw, or 2 1/16 at 45 degrees. Just remember that this saw takes 7¼ inch blades with a 5/8 inch arbor versus Milwaukee's popular track saw blades, or 6.5 inch with a 20mm arbor. So if you're looking for a full-size 7¼ inch circular saw, I would definitely recommend this M18 brushless version from Milwaukee, especially paired with those Forge batteries.